looking to connect a region of over 600 cultural bridges between our lands.
Hello and welcome to ASEAN in Focus. I'm Maricar Velasco, delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region. And now to the news. The Chinese Foreign Ministry on Thursday proposed to jointly investigate with Philippine authorities the recent incident involving a Chinese and Filipino vessel that resulted in the latter's sinking on June 9 off the waters of Recto Bank. In a press conference, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lu Kang said to find a proper solution, they suggest a joint investigation at an early date so that the two sides can exchange respective initial findings and properly handle the matter through friendly consultations based on mutually recognized investigation results. Lu said China attaches great importance to friendly relations with the Philippines and safety of persons at sea regardless of nationality. He said that once again they would like to offer sympathy to the Filipino fishermen who were in distress after the accidental collision of a Chinese and Filipino fishing vessel in Liyue Tan Nansha, referring to Recto Bank, also claimed by Beijing in its Chinese name. He added they will continue to investigate the incident thoroughly and communicate with the Philippine side via bilateral channels. The incident involved the Filipino fishing boat Gem Ver 1 and a Chinese vessel at an area within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. It resulted in the sinking of the Gem Ver 1, leaving 22 Filipino crew floundering in the water for several hours until they were rescued by a Vietnamese fishing boat. President Rodrigo Duterte on Thursday welcomed the joint investigation by both the Philippine and Chinese authorities on the alleged ramming and abandonment of a Filipino fishing boat by a Chinese vessel at the Recto Bank at the West Philippine Sea on June 9. The president welcomes a joint investigation and an early resolution of the case. They will await a formal communication from the Chinese embassy, according to presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo in a message to the reporters. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara suggested a probe on the sea mishap to be jointly participated in by representatives from the two countries. The Chinese embassy also suggested a joint investigation to allow the two countries to exchange respective initial findings and properly handle the matter through friendly consultations based on mutually recognized investigation results. On Tuesday, June 18, Panelo, who is also chief presidential legal counsel, floated the possibility of suggesting the idea of a joint investigation to the president. Despite his suggestion, Panelo said the palace would rather wait for results of the separate investigations conducted by both the Philippines and China. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles, in an interview with reporters, backed Panelo's suggestion, noting that a joint probe could be one of the options. It's possible it's one of the options, according to Nograles, stressing that government will still have to await China's response. He adds after China makes the reply, when it does make a reply, they will proceed with whatever options that are open. On Thursday, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lu Kang suggested to hold a joint investigation at an early date to find a proper solution, and so the two sides can exchange respective initial findings and properly handle the matter through friendly consultations based on mutually recognized investigation results. The Philippine government has already filed a diplomatic protest against China in relation to the Recto Bank incident. Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad has rejected the implication that Russia may have been involved in the downing of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 over Ukraine in 2014. Mahathir says he doesn't think the findings of an international investigative team are true, as it was based on hearsay. He says Malaysia is very unhappy that the investigation became a political issue on how to accuse Russia of the wrongdoing. The investigation team last year said it was convinced that the Buk missile system used to shoot down the aircraft came from the Russian Army's 53rd Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade based in the Russian city of Kursk. On Wednesday, investigators charged 4 people with murder, including a prominent Eastern Ukrainian separatist commander.
As far as we are concerned, we want proof of guilt. We are very unhappy because from the very beginning it became a political issue on how to accuse Russia of the wrongdoing. Even before they examined, they already said Russia. Now they say they have proof. So it's very difficult for us to accept that.
Airline union leaders and a famed former airline pilot said Wednesday that Boeing made mistakes while developing the 737 MAX, and the biggest was not telling anybody about the new flight control software so that pilots could train for it. Chesley Sully Sullenberger, who landed a crippled airline safely on the Hudson River in 2009, said he doubted that any U.S. pilots practiced handling a specific malfunction until it happened on 2 MAX jets that crashed, killing 346 people. He said MAX pilots should train for such emergencies in simulators, not just on computers, as Boeing proposes. Sullenberger's comments to the House Aviation Subcommittee came during the 3rd congressional hearing on Boeing's troubled plane, which has been grounded for 3 months. The president of the pilots union at American Airlines said Boeing's zeal to minimize pilot training costs for airlines that would buy the 737 MAX jet contributed to design errors and inadequate training. That has left a crisis of trust around aviation safety. Former Federal Aviation Administration Chief Randy Babbitt said his old agency, too, readily accepted Boeing's design changes on the MAX, and pilots should have been better trained. Sarah Nelson, president of the largest flight attendants union, joined in hammering Boeing and the FAA, although she has recently noticed a chastened tone from the company. As the hearing unfolded in Washington, the head of the pilots union at Southwest Airlines in Dallas said his group will seek compensation from Boeing for lost flying assignments and the cost of complying with a Justice Department subpoena for its records, which are part of the government's criminal investigation into Boeing. All of the comments underscore the challenges that Boeing still faces in winning the confidence of pilots that the MAX can be made safe. Those pilots, in turn, are key to convincing reluctant passengers to fly on the plane. More news when ASEAN in Focus returns.
When visiting the Philippines, Manila or Quezon City is a popular destination. But oftentimes the hustle and bustle of the city can be more stressful on your vacation. So when you feel the need to reconnect to nature or relax again, there's a beautiful oasis just outside of the city called the Garden at Ciudad de Victoria. Some of the species that you can see here include hydrangea, snapdragon, and stargazers. They're truly beautiful. The gardens at Ciudad de Victoria are so peaceful, tranquil, and beautiful that it's become a haven for young couples and a very popular venue for engagement photos. The next time you want an escape from the big city, the garden at Ciudad de Victoria is a wonderful place to visit.
Welcome back. President Rodrigo R. Duterte on Thursday designated Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara as officer in charge of the executive department while he is on official travel to Thailand to attend the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit in Bangkok. Special Order 631 states that Guevara will serve as OIC from June 21 to 23 to ensure continuity of government service. As officer in charge, Guevara was assigned to take care of the day-to-day operations and oversee the general administration of the executive department. The order directed the Justice Chief to, if necessary, act for and on behalf of the President, except on matters that the President is required by the Constitution to act in person during the time the President is outside the Republic of the Philippines from the 21st to the 23rd of June 2019. Guevara's acts for and on behalf of the President shall be deemed as acts of the Chief Executive unless disapproved or reprobated by the latter. He was also designated as the Chief Branch OIC during the President's official participation in the 25th International Conference on the Future of Asia and related events in Tokyo, Japan from May 28 to June 1. The relations between Thailand and the Philippines continued to be warm and close, Ambassador to the Kingdom of Thailand, Marijo Bernardo Aragon, said. Bernardo Aragon said it included trade relations. Last year alone, the trade figure between the two countries has reached over $10 billion.
Of the establishment of diplomatic relations, we are happy to host several top Thai companies in the Philippines, and there are also several Philippine companies that are based here in Thailand. I think
Bernardo Aragon said Thailand is also fast becoming a destination for overseas Filipino workers. In fact, a report by Thailand's Department of Employment said in 2017, nearly 15,000 Filipinos were working in various areas of the country. The Director General Veranon Pitiwan said then that, in fact, there were 5 times as many skilled Filipinos working in Thailand than from any other ASEAN country. She said OFWs found work in international organizations, in hotels, and in different foreign companies.
The Filipinos here in Thailand are highly considered by the Thai people. They are considered as highly skilled. There are many here who are teachers in English, and many are in the professional level. There are also those who are employed in the entertainment industry, like in Phuket and in Pattaya, in some of the hotels, as we Filipinos are known for our talent in singing and in playing instruments.
She said the number of OFWs finding jobs could show that the Filipino people are warmly received by the host country, by the people of Thailand. Bernardo Aragon said that the President Rodrigo Duterte's participation in the 34th ASEAN Summit could further advance Bangkok and Manila's partnership toward the sustainability of their good diplomatic relations. She said the Leaders' Summit is an extremely important opportunity for the Philippines to be part of developing an ASEAN community that is people-oriented, people-centered, that will uplift the lives, the livelihood of all the people in the region, and wherein no one is left behind. Meanwhile, Bernardo Aragon said that the Philippines can also benefit from its foreign relations with Thailand to pursue some of its agendas such as agro-tourism. Bernardo Aragon said tourism cooperation was among the 3 agreements that Duterte has signed with Thailand in 2017. The other agreements were for cooperation in science and technology and agriculture.
I believe that both countries are very much into agro-tourism now. We know that Secretary Berna is promoting agro-tourism in the Philippines. And here in Thailand, I think this is also something that where we can learn a lot from them.
Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha hopes to expedite RCEP negotiations by the end of the year as leaders of the 10-member Association of Southeast Asian Nations meet in Bangkok for a summit.
ได้ไหมเพิ่มอีกได้ไหมก็เดี๋ยวหารือกันเร็วนี้นะตรงไหนก็ทางนี้ฝ่ายรัฐบาลก็มีนั่งอยู่นี่หลายคนท็อปทั้งสิ้นเพราะสถานการณ์ความไม่แน่นอนของสถานการณ์เศรษฐกิจและการค้าโลกการแข่งขันช่วงชิงพื้นที่โอกาสทางเศรษฐกิจในภูมิภาคนะกรณีที่ส่งผลกระทบต่อเศรษฐกิจการเงินไปทั่วโลกในปัจจุบันเช่นเรื่องความขัดแย้งทางการค้านะที่อาจจะทำลายบรรยากาศการค้าการลงทุนโลกนะอาจจะนำไปสู่สงครามการค้ากันต่อไปในอนาคตเหล่านี้เราต้องช่วยกันลดให้ได้เราจะทำให้เกิดความสมดุลกันได้อย่างไรนะ
Stay tuned. ASEAN in Focus. We'll be right back.
Net25 is now available on OSN, the largest entertainment network in the Middle East and North Africa. Watch your favorite Net25 shows on OSN channel 725, same day as the Philippines. Net25 shows live and on demand, anytime, anywhere, or any mobile device on OSN Play.
Diskusyon, Biyernes alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng gabi.
Hey guys, behind me is what we call Spa DPS, one of the most famous landmarks here in Stavanger, Norway. And if you want to see more of the tourist spots like this, just tune into Digital Nest every Tuesday and Thursday, 7:30 p.m. I'm managing Mihia from Stavanger, Norway. Always fun with 25.
Welcome back. Two young Sumatran orangutans spent nearly 2 years learning to fend for themselves at a rehabilitation center and forest school before being returned to the wild at Pinus Janto Forest Reserve in Indonesia. The rescue is a rare spot of bright news for the critically endangered species, which has seen its habitat shrink drastically over the past few decades, largely due to the destruction of forests for logging, paper, palm oil, and mining. Watch this.
Ngajar Bang Nanda juga sekarang mentak sih. Behaviornya cukup meyakinkan untuk mereka bisa survive di hutan setelah dilepas dari segi apa? Dari segi perilaku seperti pindah pohon atau cari makan gitu.
Campaigners call on Southeast Asian leaders to ban trash imports from more developed countries at a protest in Bangkok, where demonstrators dump a pile of plastic garbage in front of a government building. Take a look.
Calling for the government in Thailand as the ASEAN chair and also the ASEAN member state to take drastic action to ratify a Basel ban amendment that prohibiting transboundary movement of waste, plastic waste, electronic waste, and toxic waste from anywhere in the world into the region.
We are at the tipping point of global waste crisis. Southeast Asia as a whole becoming the waste bin, the global waste bin.
And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco and I am one with 25.